What I gathered from it was Bethenny completely exploited that girl yet again.
Vanderpump Rules star Lala Kent is speaking out on Bethenny Frankel's recent interview with her former co-star Raquel Leviss. Leviss, who announced she's now going by her given name Rachel, sat down with the Real Housewives of New York alum on her Just Be podcast for a 3-part interview about Scandoval and her life since. In the August 22nd episode of her podcast, Give Them Lala, Kent spoke her mind on the interview, saying that while she believes Leviss has the right to tell her story and is happy she got a platform to do so, she wasn't pleased with what she saw from Frankel.
I only saw clips. And what I gathered from it was Bethenny completely exploited that girl yet again. To me, she sat there and said, you know what? This girl is going to be easy to manipulate because I'm Bethenny Frankel. She's floundering. She's going to be easy to manipulate. Her story is crazy, even though she brought it upon herself. And this is going to be the perfect way for me to place her in the narrative that I'm trying to create.
Kent added that she felt that Frankel, quote, really tried to push Leviss in a certain direction, adding of her former co-star, I don't know why anyone would allow her to do that interview. Pump Rules alum Stassi Schroeder also shared her thoughts on the interview on the August 23rd episode of her podcast, Straight Up with Stassi. She blasted Frankel's take on Scandoval and Ariana Madix.
It was almost like Bethenny was trying to make Ariana look bad, and it's like, that's not the route we should be taking right now. Like, Ariana hasn't done anything wrong. Why are we trying? What is this? Trying to say we weren't that good of friends. Ariana's making so much money now. She's still living with Sandoval. She's not living with Sandoval because she's forgiven him. She's living with Sandoval because she's like, this is my house too, and I refuse to leave my own home. And Sandoval is being a gaslighting prick motherfucker who is refusing to leave.
Schroeder also called out Frankel's prep for the interview.
What I don't understand is how she didn't, when she found out she was going to interview Rachel, go and binge watch seasons 1 through 10 so that she knew everything and do her research. It was lazy. It was lazy, a lazy fucking interview. Just hearing her talk the way Bethenny talked about Ariana and Sandoval living together, that was a lazy interview. She did not do her research. She didn't understand. Yes. She does not understand anything.
Yes.
Frankel has yet to publicly respond directly to Kent and Schroeder's criticism, and Access Hollywood has reached out to the star for comment. She did address the wider reaction to the interview on the August 22nd episode of her podcast.
What a whirlwind. Interviewing Rachel, going viral, breaking the internet, so many rumors, so many press articles, and it's unsettling, to be honest. You know, she's gotten a lot of hate in the world, and I'm taking on a lot of that hate now. And it's been really interesting because I'm proud of myself for not caring really that much.
When part 1 of the interview dropped earlier in August, Access Hollywood broke it all down.
I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. It's been a whirlwind. It's been chaos, but I've taken some time to myself to reflect and try to understand my actions. And I finally have come to the place where it makes sense to me.
Raquel Leviss is speaking out in her first interview since the Vanderpump Rules reunion. On Wednesday, the Bravo star joined Bethenny Frankel's podcast, Just Be with Bethenny Frankel, and opened up about why she sought treatment in a mental health facility after news broke that she was having an affair with her reality TV co-star Tom Sandoval, who was dating Ariana Madix at the time.
The other part of the reason why I wanted to go to a treatment facility was to understand my behaviors, and my goal was to really get down to the bottom of, okay, why am I choosing men that are unavailable? Why do I keep finding myself in unhealthy relationships? What are the things that I need to change about my behavior? And in knowing that I needed to make a change, I first had to know what it was that leads to those behaviors. I learned about love addiction, and it's a real thing. It's where you confuse intensity for intimacy.
The pheromones and the oxytocin and all those things. Is it called
Yes.
oxytocin?
Yeah.
During the candid conversation, the 28-year-old said she understands why she received backlash.
Reality TV it's edited, it is contrived to create a certain storyline. And so it's not all factual. So as a viewer tuning in, it's easy to get wrapped up in that. And then the concept of an affair hits home. It's really hard to a lot of people. So I think there was a lot of projection happening, a lot of emotions that came up for people. And unfortunately, I was the punching bag for a lot of that. I feel like I've been portrayed as the ultimate villain. My mistakes that I made on camera live on forever. And you mentioned something about the addiction of doing reality TV. And the way that they always dangle that carrot in front of you, like, well, you need to tell your side of the story. Otherwise, it's going to be written for you. And that's terrifying. So I almost went back just because of that. I do want to take a moment to just acknowledge the hurt that I brought to a lot of people. I was not careful in my actions, and I was not thinking long term. I was completely wrapped up in heartbreak and wanting to get certain needs met.
She went on to seemingly admit that she was not doing well after she split from her fiancé and fellow castmate James Kennedy.
Looking back now, I can see that I was still healing from a relationship from somebody who I thought I was going to marry. And in ending that, I still haven't healed yet. So when I was filming, I was drinking a lot to ease that anxiety.
She also reflected on her relationship with Ariana and where they stand now.
I don't expect her to forgive me. I think once trust is broken with somebody from personal experience, it's really hard to come back from that. And the fact that I was able to keep those secrets from her, I don't expect her to ever forgive me, but I am remorseful. I do recognize that I've caused her a lot of pain. Ariana and I were not best friends. We were acquaintances who became friends through the show. Mm-hmm. She's always been somebody who's been very sweet to me. She would stand up for me and encourage me to pursue whatever I was
pursuing.
She would encourage me to pursue whatever I was pursuing. And that was all great. But we never had like a deep conversation that I would have with a best friend. And it's painful to think that I hurt her in this way because that wasn't my intention. I wasn't trying to be a malicious person. I just got wrapped up in this and wasn't thinking clearly.
Raquel then shared why she plans to return to her legal name of Rachel.
So I changed my name to Raquel in first grade. There's a few other Rachels in my class and I wanted to be special.
Right.
I also feel like deep down, I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I wanted to be somebody better in my eyes. So Raquel was a way for me to kind of be that person. The name has stuck ever since. My friends always called me Raquel and my family called me Rachel, so I respond to both. Mm-hmm. During therapy, we were doing some inner child work where you typically write with your left hand, and my therapist asked me to write my name on the whiteboard, and I wrote Rachel. And she was like, interesting. I see you as Rachel to your core. You're going by Raquel, which is okay, but it's not true to who you are. It's a wall that you have up.
Persona.